Hey guys, today I'm doing a review on the Salvador Elite Pro Fight gloves. So stay tuned. Hey guys, Carlo here, and today I'm doing a review on the Salvador Elite Pro Fight gloves. I got mine in the black, magenta, and white colorway. 10 ounces in lace-up closure because it is a Pro Fight glove, and you can get these gloves in 8 ounces as well. Now, I've done reviews in the past on other Salvador boxing gloves, have always been impressed with them. These are handmade in Mexico using genuine leather. The company itself, Salvador, is actually based out of Spain. This particular pair I actually purchased from Box Up Nation, so if you're interested in getting yourself a pair of Salvadors, you can go through Box Up Nation or directly through Salvador. Box Up Nation also has their training gloves as well, so they have their fight gloves like you see here, as well as their training gloves if you want something a little bit larger. Now, design-wise, when you're looking at this glove, it's a very beautiful looking glove, aesthetically speaking. I would say in terms of comparison's sake, these are probably the closest to Grant that you'll find in terms of the kind of leather they use. Obviously, they're both made in Mexico. The overall shape of the glove and just the overall feel and construction of the glove, it's very close to Grant. If you're looking something that is very similar to that, but for the fraction of the price. You can see that the leather on here has kind of I'd say more of like a glossy look to it. I've been using the gloves, so they're a little bit dirty, but I can clean them up. But in terms of the sheen of the leather, it's very nice, very high quality, and it has more of a gloss-like feel. And I think they almost, like they do with Reyes and even Grant, they might use like a water repellent spray that they put on here after they put the gloves together. You have the Salvador logo on the back of the glove, very clean. It says made in Mexico. You also have leather on the back for the white cuff, which is a flat cuff as well. At the very bottom, you have that magenta colored piping at the very bottom with the satin liner on the inside, as well as the Salvador tags, as well as says that it's made in Mexico as well on the inside there. Rotating to the palm side is something you'll notice that's specific to Salvador in terms of the way they design the offset of colors. You'll notice that Salvador has done a split palm as well as the triple palm, if you want to call it. So essentially you have this magenta strip of leather that goes down the middle, and then you have the black on both sides. So just a unique design to give it a different look than your traditional gloves. And you'll notice that there's a switch in piping as well. So you have this magenta piping right here, and then you have the white piping that goes on the inside that comes up to where the laces are at, where the palm opening is. And you can see it has double stitching. So there's some reinforcement there. You have the black leather, more of that magenta piping around the thumb. A white thumb that is traditional, split with the white and the magenta right there, with the black thumb attachment in leather. Ventilated holes on the thumb, and then you have the grip bar, which is huge. Really big grip bar, you can see right there, very pronounced, and has a good amount of firmness to it in terms of how thick it is. So when you make a fist with this, you can really get a good grip. Kind of reminds me of like that boxing hand grenade or those fist loaders, to where you can really feel that grip bar on the inside when you have your hand in here. So overall, just aesthetically a beautiful looking glove, really nice parallel thumb, has a very nice compact feel to it. And there you have it. Quality of the gloves are top notch. I believe the right glove came in at 9.9 ounces and the left is at 9.8. So pretty much exactly on weight with 10 ounces. You can see the glove is very well balanced. It's not top heavy at all, not bottom heavy. So a good distribution of weight throughout the entire glove. One thing I'd like to mention is wrist support. Just like any other fight gloves, that's not the big emphasis of it. So you'll have maybe 1/8 of an inch of EVA foam padding on this side of the wrist, as well as on this side that ends right where the stitching is at. And then the back of the wrist, you have, I'd say, maybe 1/4 of an inch of padding on the back of the wrist. Again, of some kind of EVA type of padding. One thing I do notice is that they used a different type of padding, so it's almost like there's two layers. The one on the inside is a little bit more stiff, and the padding here on the white leather is definitely on the softer side. So you have like basically two layers of thin foam on the back of the wrist for the wrist support. But overall, you can see the gloves look great. The leather on here is nice. The stitching looks really good overall, you know, where the thumb meets the index finger. The comfort of the glove, the inside liner, should I say, the comfort of the inside liner feels good. No rips or tears. The outside edges looks really good. And just to show you the stitching on the palm, just the quality of the stitching. The leather looks good. All looks good right there, where the finger meets that grip bar area. So overall, just a beautiful looking glove. Let's show you guys both sides. Slide my hand in here, see how they feel. So, one thing about this glove is extremely broken in right off the bat, and it'll break in even more when you start using them, but they're not stiff by any means. Thumb positioning is excellent. One thing about these gloves, again, they're very similar to Grant in the fact that you have a little bit of an oversized thumb. So it's good for those of you that, you know, if you have your hand wraps on, you have a bigger hands, longer fingers. If you're a heavyweight and you're just a larger individual that has bigger hands, I think these will be suitable for you as well because of that oversized thumb. I mean, you can actually see just how much of an emphasis on the thumb there is compared to the glove. I mean, the thumb itself almost looks like a third of the glove, at least on this upper portion when you're looking at it. So, you know, they give you a lot of room, and because of that, you don't get any of that pinching on this part of your finger. And I hate that with a lot of gloves where they make the thumb compartment too small, and then this piece of piping usually just presses down and it makes it really uncomfortable. Another good thing is they have a larger palm opening right here. So sometimes that's a flaw you find with other gloves too, is that this opening is really tight, and this palm section, I'd say in this area around in your hand, together with this piping, gets really tight. But this opening is nice, so when you have your hand wraps on and you put your hands in here, they feel really good. Again, like I mentioned earlier, you can really feel that grip bar. Wrist support feels pretty good. I mean, it's nothing too crazy there. Pretty standard for a fight glove. One nice thing they do, just like Grant's, is they put a piece of felt in the finger compartment that covers the stitching. So it's very soft and comfortable, which I love. The depth of the finger compartment is great. Nice and deep finger pocket. It's not too wide, not too narrow, and just overall it feels really good. You can see that when you make a fist, the thumb attachment does a good job of pulling the thumb down, but I didn't have any issues with the tip of my thumb jamming into this part of the glove. One thing I did want to mention is on the right side glove, I did notice, and which I should have mentioned earlier in the qualities, is right about here. On this left glove it's fine, but on the right glove I noticed that the felt kind of ended early. So I had it all the way through here, and then the felt kind of tapered off, and I ended up feeling the stitching with my index finger in the right glove compared to this one where it's consistent all the way through. So I guess from a quality standpoint, it would have been nice to have the felt all the way through, just like the left glove I have on right now in the video. But overall, extremely comfortable glove in terms of just overall comfort. Liner feels good, and I have no complaints in terms of comfort. Protection and performance. Now, this glove uses a combination of EVA foam and horsehair. So you get a good balance between pop, feedback, and a little bit of protection. The EVA gives you that little extra layer of protection. It's a little bit of a harder foam. So it's not like a full-on Mexican style puncher's glove where it's just horsehair, you know, like the Everlast MX gloves. You can see that there's that layer of EVA that gives you a little bit more protection. So, you know, if you're to use this for bag work, these perform very well for the bag, especially for the mitts. I would be mindful of just using it primarily on the heavy bag, as eventually you'll break the foam down quicker than you would a traditional like layered foam training glove. But I think the EVA is a nice addition to the horsehair to give you that. So, you know, a lot of people do like to train with lighter 8 to 10 ounce gloves in their training, or at least they supplement their larger 16-ounce training gloves with a small compact pair of fight gloves to kind of put in their rotation when they train at the gym. And I do like the consistency of the foam. You get a good amount of feedback. It's decently protective. I mean, it's not going to be the most overly shock absorbing glove because you do have that force here, so you can feel it, but you get that excellent pop and feel like your knuckles is really sinking into your target, which I love personally. I would still probably recommend to maybe taping off your wrists a little bit with these gloves. With my right hand, I kind of jammed my wrist a little bit the other day when I was using these gloves, and that's to my own detriment, and that's my own fault. I had these gloves on and I was hitting this heavy bag, and I was probably like 6 rounds in and just throwing all power shots, and I noticed that I kind of tweaked my right hand a little bit. So just something to be mindful of off of my own mistake or experiences. If you're going to use something like this, maybe tape your wrist off to make it a little bit more rigid and more supportive if you're going to use a glove like this, primarily for heavy bag work. Cost-wise, these gloves I believe are $260 through Box Up Nation, which I think is a fair price, you know, all things considered, compared to what's out there. Obviously Grants, which I feel like these are probably the closest to, are more than double the price of these if you can find them in brand new condition. And these are a lot more accessible, easier accessible. You can get them through Box Up Nation, you can get them directly through Salvador. So from an accessibility standpoint, you can get yourself a nice pair of these. One thing about these as well, aside from the price point, is that they're essentially kind of all a custom glove. You know, you don't really see a stock colorway of the Salvadors when it comes to both their fight gloves or even their training gloves. They kind of do a run of certain colorways, and then they'll move on to another batch of a different colorway. So it's kind of like, if you really like this colorway, then you kind of got to jump on it, or you can just go directly through Salvador or Box Up Nation and get a custom pair made. But if you want one like right away that's in stock, you kind of have to keep up on it. You have to like stay up on Box Up Nation on what they have in stock, as well as what Salvador has in stock as well on their website. So pretty much a custom glove. You just kind of have to pay attention to what they have available, so you can order whatever colorway you want. Fortunately for me, when I went to go visit Jonathan over at Box Up Nation a couple months ago in Dallas, I had been looking at a couple of pairs online, but I was there in person, so I picked these up when I was actually physically there, and really been satisfied with these gloves, training with them. And overall, again, for the price of $260, I think they're a great price. Full leather construction, made in Mexico. They look fantastic, and they perform very well. So if you guys have any questions or comments, make sure you guys leave them down below in the comments box. I'll put the link in the description box where you can find these Salvador Elite Pro Fight gloves. I'll see you guys later. Take care.